What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here and welcome to another strategy guide. This one is for Town Hall 11 and the BoWiVa attack. Bowlers, witches, yes, witches, and Valkyries. Now the BoWiVa attack is predominantly used for these ring or island style bases, which I'm sure you'll see a lot of at the moment. And it is a comfortable 2 and even 3-star strategy. The second raid you will see in this video is a 3-star and we've certainly had quite a few of them. The strategy begins with a queen walk, aiming to take down some primary targets. I would recommend the archer queen and the enemy CC, but we will break this down as part of the guide. The bowlers and witches then help to take out the ring of the base, whilst the Valkyries rush the core. As with all of my strategy guides, I'll try and break things down into 5 steps that you can follow and implement this strategy into your gameplay a little bit easier. Now let's start with the composition of the strategy. As ever, this can be altered judging on the base design, but it's always good to have a baseline to start with. For troops, you're going to need 4 healers, that's obviously as part of the queen walk, approximately 10 bowlers, 4 witches, and 7 Valkyries. The Valkyries can vary depending on how strong the core is. Your clan castle can be varied. We often throw a PEKKA in there as extra damage, but also as a tank. Feel free to have extra witches or bowlers in there. You're going to need some wall breakers and a wizard or 2 to help with cleanup. You're going to require 1 jump spell, that's to help get the Valkyries into the core, and 4 rage spells. Most of the time I'd recommend 2 poison spells, 1 for the clan castle and 1 for the queen. In this first example you'll see we actually have a skeleton spell, but that's because the queen and clan castle are situated together and we can hit them both with 1 poison spell. So with all that out the way, let's get into the first replay and break down the steps of the BoWiVa attack. Step 1 is your queen walk. You want to use the Grand Warden as part of this, and that will give your queen and healers that health boost to make this stage just that little bit easier. As we progress, you will see that the bowlers and witches meet up with the queen and the Grand Warden will be helping the entire pack. I appreciate we're flying through this on the first replay, but we will break it down further as you see future attacks. Step 2 is your rage and poison spells. Self-explanatory, but as you're luring the clan castle and approaching the enemy queen, you want to be using the poison spells to help you. They'll help provide damage on the enemy clan castle troops and help to slow the queen down so you can take her out without taking as much damage. Make sure to monitor your own queen's health and be wary of the defences she's approaching. Use the rage spells as necessary and incorporate the queen and healers to give her that much needed boost. We will look at this in more detail, but let's move on to step 3, which is to bring in your bowlers and witches. You can begin this stage as soon as your queen has taken out your initial objectives and created a path to control the AI of your troops coming in. Step 4 is to provide access to the core. You can see the jump spell provides access over 2 layers of walls, the wall breakers had broken the outside layer and the funnel is clearly wide enough. Step 5 is Valkyrie Rage. Once that funnel is created, by taking out approximately half of the outside ring using the queen, bowlers and witches, the next nearest structures will be them in the core, so the Valkyries, once you've provided access, will run straight to it. You may wish to test the Valkyrie AI by putting 1 in first and just making sure it targets the building you want to. This might be one en route to the core, or most of the time, once you've taken out all of them outside buildings, they will just target the core itself. You can then push all the rest of the Valkyries in and make sure to save 1 rage spell to use over the top to take out all of them high damage defences right in the middle. The BoWiVa attack is mainly being patient, making sure you're achieving each step before you move on to the next. I must admit this strategy was quite difficult to break down into the 5 most important steps, but I do try and keep my guides that way just because I think it's easier for you guys to absorb, it's easier for you to break down a specific stage and practice it, and then build up to the entire attack itself. With that being said, I will go into more depth of each stage in these next replays. Now this second replay is a 3-star attack and Chaos is starting his queen walk, step 1, down in the south. His primary objective is the enemy archer queen. Now I must say that I feel your primary objective from your queen walk should be the enemy archer queen itself, and if you can, the enemy clan castle. you'll see on this one that the clan castle isn't taken out until slightly later on. Now this does depend on the base design. It depends on where you can and can't start your queen walk. Perhaps there's a lot of defences concentrated to a particular area. It depends on whether you're going for the 2 or the 3-star attack. If you're only going for the 2-star, it may depend on where the town hall is situated within the core, but that is getting into a bit more depth. Ultimately, keeping it simple, take out half of the outside ring with the queen walk, bowlers and witches, and then Valkyrie the core. So we kind of missed step 2, we used the poison spell and a rage spell to help our queen get through the enemy queen. We're now on to step 3, bringing in the bowlers and witches to join the queen along with our king and the clan castle, which as I said is quite flexible. On this one, Chaos decided to bring giants as a bit more tankage instead of the PEKKA. Step 4, we've provided access to the core via the jump spell and that area on the outside wall where the troops broke in. And step 5, the Valkyries have rushed the core, we've popped the rage spell over the middle so they can take down all of them defences, and the queen has even directed herself behind to the core as well. Now often your troops going around the outside will split up, sometimes the queen acts a little bit funny and turns the opposite direction. The main thing is not to panic as part of the raid, just making sure you're getting that wide funnel and then getting the Valkyries to the middle. Don't try and put the Valkyries in too soon, they'll just go around the edge and you'll completely miss the 2-star as well. Ultimately, the 2-star is what you need to secure, and as part of the 3-star, you need the Valkyries to get into the core and take down them high damage defenses anyway, so you need to get that funnel correct. If you don't get the Valkyries to the middle, you're most likely not getting the 2-star. You may hit lucky and have some of your troops turn around, but also you'll be leaving them defenses in the middle, constantly shooting at your bowlers going around the outside, and that is going to have a big effect when you're going for the 3-star. The time can sometimes be a factor with the BoWiVa attack. You'll see an attack right at the end of this video where Dan gets a 97% 2-star, just falling short because of time. It can be quite good to have your bowlers and queen split up and go around opposite sides of the base, but you can find that often they just don't have the firepower and they'll just fizzle out as well. So in general, you need to try and keep the troops alive. You want your bowlers and witches to merge into the queen walk, but like I said, don't panic if this doesn't happen because you can still get the strategy to work. Moving into the next replay, you will see that step 1, we've started the queen walk, more of a queen charge on this one in order to get the primary objectives in that of the enemy clan castle and moving around to get the enemy queen. The poison spell has been nicely placed so that as the clan castle troops come out, takes them straight down, and we used a rage spell to help the queen through that. Now on this attack, we've pushed the queen into the base very early on. Now you can clearly see that there's also a middle ring within this layout as well. There's not just the outside ring and then the core, there's kind of that middle layer as well. So it's important that we're taking that into account with the funnel. The Valkyries could very easily get caught within that middle ring, so the queen is pushed in order to create the funnel on that as well. You can see we just had a beautiful example of the rage spell placement as in step 2, whereby the queen, Grand Warden and healers were all within its radius. It was also placed so that alongside incorporating all of them troops, there was room for the queen to move forward and still be within the spell, and obviously it meant that as the healers moved forward, we really got the most benefit out of that rage spell. Now on step 3, the bowlers and witches have actually gone around the outside. Again, it's nothing to panic about. The queen has the healers and the Grand Warden, she's fine. The bowlers can shoot over the wall and eventually they're going to break back in and join back up with her anyway. The fact that the troops have broke back in and provided that gap on the outside wall actually helps with step 4 in providing access to the core. Now if this doesn't happen and you don't have that break within the outside layer, what you'll find is if you've been able to follow the other stages, the queen walk will have started that funnel and then you won't have brought the bowlers and witches in until further around the base. That means that where you've broke them in and broke the wall will be where you bring the Valkyries in general. However, if you don't have that break, it's not to panic. As long as you've got a wide enough funnel, the Valkyries will be able to break through the wall themselves and not be under any fire. The jump spell will then help you get into the core where you can use that rage in order to take it all down. Again, you can see more than enough troops to finish the raid, but unfortunately we're going to run out of time and end up with a high percentage 2-star. Still a great result, and remember, percentage helps if it's a tiebreaker, but you will find that every once in a while with a strategy you can get those 3 stars. Heading into the next replay, you can see that the clan castle is easily lureable. Now that's a big advantage because we can select where to start the queen walk, and it means that we can take out the clan castle irrespective of where we bring her in. So we've lured the clan castle and we're going to bring the queen in over from the west. That means that we can target that enemy queen, and we've also took out the objective of the enemy clan castle troops. Step 2, we've poisoned the CC, and we're also going to use a rage to help get the queen through them. You can see that placement we're talking about, where the healers are just within its radius, and there's also room at the front of the spell for the queen to walk into. That means that she's getting the rage bonus longer, she's not going to walk out of the spell quite as quick, and the healers will actually be in there pretty much the entire length of the spell as they slowly move forward. Poison spell on the enemy queen as well helps to slow her down, and then we can move forward to step 3. You'll notice on this one that Surge actually decides to break up the bowlers and witches and the queen walk. Now take a look at the infernos within the core. They're well out of the radius of that outside ring. Therefore it is a little bit safer to split your army in order to help with time. With the infernos being well out of range, they're not going to be constantly firing at them outside troops, therefore you don't need as many to protect each other. And by the way, that is what the great addition of the witches alongside the bowlers is. Them skeletons are constantly distracting the point defences so your bowlers aren't taking as much damage. You can see we have a break in the outside wall where the queen initially came in, and we have a break further down where the bowlers came in. With the funnel being wide enough, either would be appropriate, but you can see on the bottom here the Valkyries have a direct route to the town hall. You can also notice how Surge just placed one in first and saw that the Valkyries were going straight into the core, therefore he knew it was safe to push all the rest in. Rage Bell helps to take that entire core down, and as the troops continue to go around the outside, you'll see they just don't have enough firepower to take down the entire base. So do take note of the base design, see if you think it is worth splitting up the queen and the bowlers and witches, but in general I think we found that if you keep them together they do have a bit more firepower. It just can be quite tight on time in order to get them 3 stars. So as we move into the last raid, you'll see that this is that 97% I was talking about. Hopefully you've picked up pretty much the strategy at this point, and the last raid will be just kind of recapping things for you. One thing I haven't mentioned that is in step 2, the rage and the poison spells, only use as many rage as what is necessary. Most of the time this will either be 1 or 2 spells. Try and save as many as you can for that entire army you have moving around, so you can use the rage spells on the bowlers and the witches to really push them around the base, help with time, and try and give you the best shot at getting them 3 stars. So step 1 and the Queen, Grand Warden and healers are in. Step 2 can kind of happen straight away. You'll see the rage spell straight in on this one because there was a lot of defenses concentrated in that area. Again, this is one of them layouts with that middle ring, so Dan has to break the queen in early on in order to create that funnel correctly. I'm not sure if he wanted to take the Eagle Artillery and then move around towards the Queen on this one, but she decides to go clockwise around the base and works her way around towards the enemy CC. Like I said, in a nutshell, create that funnel with your Queen walk and merging in the bowlers and witches, and then Valkyrie the core. Once the Queen has begun to create that funnel and we know we're going to be able to control the bowlers AI, we can move to step 3, and in this case, bring them in from the south. We know that they're going to move clockwise around with the Queen, so get them in, help with time. You can see that the PEKKA there as well, helping with tankage. Often if you put that in first, the Eagle Artillery will lock onto the PEKKA, so that's a nice top tip instead of it locking onto all of your bowlers. The skeletons, as I say, will help to provide a lot more distraction for the point defences. As well, the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome ability, you want to use that reasonably early on. Try and incorporate as many bowlers and witches as you can so that you can really get the most out of it. The more troops you can incorporate within it, the better. Step 4 and we have access to the core via the south where the bowlers came in and the jump spell, and then step 5 the Valkyrie rage, they've gone to the core, the rage spell's over the top and they have absolutely crushed it. You'll see that they even turn back around, come back out, they get to that eagle artillery and watch how close this is. One more swing from a Valkyrie, that thing would have been down and this would have sure been a 3-star attack. It actually looks like some more skeleton traps went off, caused a few of the Valkyries to turn back around to the core and obviously split up. Very unfortunate. If that had have went down, it wouldn't have been firing at the rest of the troops for the remaining part of the raid and definitely would have had a better shot at getting them 3 stars. So that is your guide for the BoWiVa attack. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave any comments down below if you have any tips on the strategy yourself, or please share your successes of this as well. I will try and get more strategy guides out to you very soon, so hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all of my latest Clash of Clans videos. Make sure to comment me with the hashtag BoWiVa if you made it right to the end of this video. I've been your host Judo Sloth, and until next time, peace out guys. Stay tuned for more Clash of Clans.